Hey Wolfeboro staff, it's William. I'm here today to talk a little bit about the EDGE method. And that's not because this is a required training for me to give or anything, but because I would love to see EDGE get a little more respect and love. I think it's a super helpful tool. If you are not familiar with the EDGE method, that is a instructional method based on the acronym EDGE, which stands for Explain, Demonstrate, Guide, Enable. The idea is that if you do your instruction in this way, it'll be effective and scouts will pick up on the skills that you want them to. Now, for some reason, when EDGE comes up, I often see that people will dismiss it very quickly. And I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because it comes from the BSA down. It seems forced or something, or maybe just because it's an acronym, it comes off as like cliche or cheesy or corporate or something. But I'm here to tell you that even if you're not an acronym person, you should still think about this, okay? I'll put my main point right here in the front, which is that EDGE is just another way to describe something that we call the gradual release of responsibility. The gradual release of responsibility just means that people will learn if you start with your instruction and then send it to them to have a little responsibility and do something themselves. Specifically, the pattern is I do something, we do something, you do something. Or in other words, I do something, explain, demonstrate, we do something, guide, you do something, enable. So during your merit badge instruction, even if EDGE, that acronym, never crosses your mind once, you still need to follow that general pattern of releasing responsibility if you want your scouts to actually acquire some skills, which you should. Unfortunately, one style of counseling that I've seen and done is more like ED, explain, demonstrate, and the scouts don't do anything. Or arguably worse, EQ, explain, quiz, and you can see why that might not be very engaging. So one thing that I've seen as a professional teacher and learned is that oftentimes we don't actually learn something until we're put in a situation where we're forced to know it or use it. For example, when I was a kid, I was shown how to change a tire on a car. My dad brought me out. He explained what he was doing as he went. He demonstrated it very well. He even let me help a little bit. He let me turn the ratchet and stuff. But I didn't really learn how to change a tire until years later when me and a friend had to go help another friend who got a flat. By going through those steps myself, then I was able to confidently say that I could change a tire. Not before I had to be put in that situation. If you don't put your scouts in a situation where they have the opportunity to step up and try that skill for themselves, they're not going to acquire that skill. Okay? Now, even if you have that pattern in mind, that release of responsibility in your mind, or the EDGE method or whatever, you might still have the question of how should I allocate my time? How much time should I spend on me doing something versus them doing something? What I've been told, and I'll tell you now, this is the goal, this is the golden ratio that we should all aspire to, is a 30-70 split. By which I mean 30% you giving instruction and talking to them versus 70% your scouts doing something. Now, when I first heard that, that sounded unattainable. I was thinking, even when you flip that, even when I'm talking at them 70% of the time and they're only working for 30% of the time, they still don't get it. And I realized that was the problem. The problem is that people aren't going to learn it until they get a chance to do it. So even if you take your whole 50-minute merit badge session, you can talk to them for the 100% of the time, and they're still not going to get it. There's a point where you need to just shut up and let them try something themselves, okay? Do just enough talking so that they can then jump in and try it themselves. And you'll see that it'll go a lot better. And you'll still get a chance to counsel and being instructed, because once they're in it and they're doing it, then they're going to start asking questions and getting curious because you've put them in a situation where they need the information that you have. So if I was going to take everything that I said and just kind of like wrap it up in a little summary, I would say have your scouts do more stuff and then get to them doing stuff sooner if you can. All right, this is going to be a great summer. I believe in all of you. Take care until then. Peace out.